Blood dripped onto the concrete. A 9-year-old girl collapsed in the doorway of a biker garage, legs twisted beneath her like broken wings. "I can't close my legs," she choked out. "It hurts, please. He burned me. He kicked me. He said he'd kill me if I told anyone." 4 Hell's Angels stood frozen. Tools hit the floor. Nobody breathed. Marcus Iron Hayes dropped to his knees. He'd killed men. He'd survived prison. He'd buried friends. But the 43 cigarette burns on this child's body broke something inside him that would never heal the same way again. What these bikers did next silenced an entire town and exposed a monster who had been hiding for 20 years. Before we dive in, tell me where you're watching from. Drop your city in the comments. I want to see how far this story reaches. Hit subscribe. Stay until the end. You won't believe what happens. The carburetor slipped from Iron's hands. He didn't hear it hit the floor. Didn't hear Diesel curse behind him. Didn't hear Hawk knock over a toolbox. All he heard was the girl. She couldn't have been more than 9. Barefoot, one strap of her dress hanging loose. Dark hair plastered to her face with sweat and tears and something that looked like dried blood. She took 1 step. 2. Her legs moved wrong, pressed together, trembling like walking on broken glass. Then she fell. Iron caught her before she hit concrete. She weighed nothing. Bones and fear and shallow breathing. Hey, look at me." Her eyes found his face. Brown, huge, the eyes of an animal caught in a trap. "He's coming," she whispered. "Please, you have to hide me. He's coming." "Who's coming?" "My uncle, Travis. He said," her voice cracked, "he said if I told anyone he'd bury me in the desert. He said nobody would find me. Nobody would care." Iron's jaw locked. "What did he do to you?" The girl Lily, she'd tell them later, started crying, not loud, quiet sobs that shook her whole body. "He pushed me off the porch. I landed on the fence, the metal fence, then he—" She couldn't finish. Diesel crouched beside them. His face had gone white. Iron, her legs. Iron looked down. Bruises covered her inner thighs, dark purple, almost black in places. Some fresh, some yellow-green and fading. This wasn't one fall. This was months, maybe years. "Hawk," Iron said. His voice didn't sound like his own. "Lock the bay door, now." The metal door rolled down with a crash. The garage went dim. "Razor, get Doc Martinez on the phone. Tell him it's an emergency. Tell him it's a kid." "On it." Iron looked back at Lily. She was shaking so hard her teeth chattered. "What's your name, sweetheart?" Lily. "Lily, I'm Iron. These are my brothers. We're not going to hurt you. Understand, nobody here is going to hurt you. You promise?" "I promise." She studied his face. The beard, the scars, the tattoos crawling up his neck. Men like him were supposed to scare children. She grabbed his vest and held on like he was the only solid thing left in the world. "Don't let him find me. Please, please don't let him find me." Iron pulled her closer, gentle, careful, like holding a bird with broken wings. "He's not getting anywhere near you. You hear me? Not while I'm breathing." Diesel examined her legs while Iron held her hand. "Talk to me," Iron said. Diesel's voice was flat, controlled, the voice he used when things were bad and getting worse. "Severe bruising, both legs, pelvis area. Some of these marks are fresh, maybe 2 days old. Others are weeks old, maybe older." He paused. "There's scarring too. On her back, belt marks, and something else, small circles. Dozens of them. Cigarette burns on." "Yeah," Hawk turned away. His fist hit the wall hard enough to crack plaster. Lily flinched at the sound. "Sorry," Hawk said quickly. "I'm sorry. I'm not mad at you. I'm just—" He couldn't finish. "He does that when he's drinking," Lily whispered. "Uses his cigarettes. Says it teaches me to be quiet." Iron closed his eyes, breathed in, breathed out. 20 years ago, he'd walked out of his father's house with 2 cracked ribs and a split lip. He'd sworn he'd never feel that helpless again. He'd sworn no kid would feel it either. Not on his watch. "Where's your mama?" he asked. Lily's face crumpled. "She saw. She was there when I fell. She didn't help me. She told me to stop crying. She said I was making trouble. She said Travis would get mad if I kept making noise." She let him do this. She's scared too. He hits her sometimes, but she won't leave. She says we don't have anywhere to go. Iron exchanged a look with Diesel, the same look, the same understanding. They'd both known women like that, trapped, broken, too afraid to run, but that didn't excuse letting a monster torture your child. How'd you get here? Iron asked. This garage is miles from town. I walked. After he went to sleep, I hid in the shed for a long time. Then I started walking. I didn't know where to go, but I saw the motorcycles and I remembered. Her voice broke. My daddy used to ride before he died. He said bikers were family. He said they protected people. Iron felt something crack open inside his chest. Your daddy was right, he said. You found the right place, Lily. You're safe now. Doc Martinez arrived in 31 minutes. He was 63, gray beard, steady hands. He'd been patching up Hell's Angels for 20 years. He'd seen everything. He examined Lily in the back office. When he came out, his hands were shaking. Well, Iron demanded. Doc pulled off his glasses, rubbed his eyes, took a breath. She needs a hospital, possible pelvic fracture, definitely internal bruising, the damage to her legs. He stopped. This child has been systematically abused for a long time, months at minimum. The scarring patterns suggest years. Years. The cigarette burns alone, there are over 40 of them. Different ages, different stages of healing. This wasn't one incident. This was ongoing torture. Diesel walked outside. Iron heard him retching. What do we do? Hawk asked. Legally, you call CPS. Report the abuse. Let the system handle it. And if the system is broken, Doc hesitated. What do you mean, Emma? She says her uncle has police friends. She says nobody believes her when she tells. What if she's right? Doc was quiet for a long moment. Then God help her, because nobody else will. Iron shook his head. No, that's not good enough. There has to be another way. There might be, Doc lowered his voice. I know a social worker. Karen Wells. She's honest. One of the few. If anyone can navigate this without getting the girl killed, it's her. Call her. Iron Bowen, call her now. Doc nodded and pulled out his phone. Iron walked to the office door. Lily was asleep on the old couch, curled into a ball, clutching a shop rag like a stuffed animal. 9 years old, 40 cigarette burns, a pelvic fracture, and a mother who watched it happen. Iron had done a lot of bad things in his life, hurt people who probably didn't deserve it, broken laws that maybe should have been broken. But this, protecting this child, this was the most right thing he'd ever do. Razor came back 20 minutes later. His face was grim. I found the house, yellow place on Miller Road. Just like she said. And then a black pickup in the driver's driveway, lifted Chevy, rebel flag on the back window, and a man on the front porch with a shotgun. Travis Boone, big guy, shaved head, tattoos on both arms, looks like he's been drinking and waiting. Waiting for what? For her. He knows she ran. He's pacing that porch like a caged animal. Sooner or later, he's going to start looking. Diesel had come back inside, face still pale. How long do we have? Depends on how smart he is. If he starts canvassing the area gas stations, stores, anywhere a kid might stop, he could trace her path here in a few hours. Then we need to move fast. Iron's phone buzzed, unknown number. He answered, yeah. Mr. Hayes, this is Karen Wells. Mr. Martinez called me. You the social worker? I am. I understand you have a child there who needs help. That's one way to put it. I'd like to meet, discuss options, but not at your location, too risky. There's a diner on Route 7. Can you be there in an hour? I'll be there, but lady, if this is some kind of trap. Mr. Hayes, her voice was steady. I've been doing this job for 15 years. I've seen the system fail more children than I can count. I'm not here to trap anyone. I'm here to save a little girl. Are you with me or not? Iron paused, something in her voice, something real. I'm with you, 1 hour. He hung up. Diesel, you stay with Lily. Don't let anyone through that door, anyone. Where are you going? To find out if there's any justice left in this world, man. The diner was half empty. Truckers at the counter. An old couple in a booth by the window. Country music playing low. Karen Wells sat in the back corner. Mid-40s, sharp eyes, the kind of tired that came from fighting battles nobody else wanted to fight. Iron slid into the booth across from her. "You came alone," she said. "So did you. Talk." Karen opened a folder. Travis Boone, 41 years old, originally from Texas, moved around a lot: Nevada, New Mexico, Arizona. Started dating Lily's mother 18 months ago. Moved in shortly after. Criminal record: 2 arrests for domestic violence. Both times charges were dropped when victims refused to testify. She looked up. This is his pattern. He finds vulnerable women, single mothers with children. He moves in. The abuse starts slowly, then escalates. When things get too hot, he moves on. How many kids? That we know of, at least 3 before Lily. Probably more. Iron's hands curled into fists under the table. And nobody stopped him. The system doesn't stop men like him. It protects them. Karen leaned forward. Sheriff Cole Barton is blocking 3 investigations into that household. He and Boone served together in the Army. Old friends. Barton makes sure no complaints go anywhere. So local law is useless. Worse than useless. If Barton finds out where Lily is, he'll personally return her to that house and call it a welfare check. Then what do we do? Karen pulled out another document. There's a judge in Phoenix, Maria Santos. She handles cases where local authorities are compromised. If I can get her medical evidence testimony and proof of obstruction, she can issue an emergency custody order that bypasses Barton entirely. How long? 48 hours, maybe less if I push. 48 hours. Iron shook his head. Travis Boone is already hunting. He's got a shotgun and friends. 48 hours might as well be forever. I know. That's why I need you to do something I have no right to ask. Ask it. Protect her. Whatever it takes, for 2 days, keep her hidden, keep her safe. Can you do that? Iron thought about Lily, asleep on that couch, clutching a dirty rag like it was a teddy bear. 40 cigarette burns, a broken pelvis, and more courage than most grown men would ever have. Yeah, he said, I can do that. Thank you. Don't thank me yet. If Boone shows up before your 48 hours are up, I can't promise what happens. Karen met his eyes. I'm not asking you to be gentle, Mr. Hayes. I'm asking you to keep her alive. That, Iron said, I can definitely do. He was halfway back to the garage when Razor called. He's moving. Iron's blood went cold. Where about? Heading north on Route 4. He's got company. 2 guys in the truck with him, all armed. Following us. No, he's going the other way, toward town, checking gas station stores, asking questions. How long before he works his way back? If he's methodical, 12 hours. If someone tips him off, Razor paused. Could be any time. Keep watching. I want to know the second he changes direction. Copy. Iron hung up. Pressed the gas harder. 12 hours. Maybe less. The clock was ticking. Lily was awake when he got back. She sat on the couch legs, stretched out carefully, watching Diesel shuffle a deck of cards. When she saw Iron, her face lit up, then immediately clouded with fear. Is he coming? Is he? Iron crouched beside hers. Not yet, and if he does, he's got to go through us first. There's 4 of you. That's right. He has friends. So do we. Iron smiled. Lily, let me tell you something about my brothers. Diesel over there, he used to be an Army medic. Saved 16 men in combat. Hawk. He once walked into a burning building to pull out a family of 5. Razor, he's the smartest guy I know. Nothing gets past him. What about you? Iron paused. Me, I'm too stubborn to lose. Ask anyone. For the first time, Lily almost smiled. My daddy was stubborn too. Mom always said so. Then you come from good stock. Lily's smile faded. I miss him. My daddy. He would have stopped Travis. He wouldn't have let him hurt me. Tell me about him. He was big, like you. He had a motorcycle, a red one. He used to take me for rides. We'd go real fast and I'd hold on tight and he'd laugh. Tears welled in her eyes. Then he got sick, Cancer, Mama said. He was in the hospital for a long time. Then he wasn't anywhere. How long ago? 2 years. Travis came after. Mama said we needed help. She said he'd take care of us. Lily's voice hardened, just a little, just enough to break Iron's heart. He lied. Yeah, Iron said quietly low. He did. Grown-ups lie a lot. Some do, but not all of us. Iron took her hand. I'm not going to lie to you, Lily. The next few days are going to be hard. There are people trying to help you, good people, but it's going to take time. And until then, you need to stay here with us. Can you do that? Will you stay too? I'm not going anywhere. She squeezed his hand. Her grip was surprisingly strong. Okay, she said, I trust you. 3 words, 3 simple words. They hit Iron harder than any punch he'd ever taken. Night fell like a hammer. Iron took first watch. Diesel slept on a cot near Lily's couch. Hawk and Razor patrolled outside, checking the perimeter every 30 minutes. At 2 a.m., Lily started screaming. Iron was beside her in seconds. She was sitting up, eyes wide, gasping for air. He was here. He found me. Lily, look at me. Her eyes focused, wild, terrified, then slowly clearing. Iron, I'm here. It was a dream, just a dream. It felt real. He was standing over me. He had his belt. He said, she couldn't finish. Iron sat on the edge of the couch, not too close, giving her space. You want to know something? He said quietly. She nodded. When I was your age, I had nightmares too, every single night. You did. My father was like your uncle, mean, drunk. He used his fists instead of a belt, but the result was the same. I spent my whole childhood terrified. Lily stared at him. What happened? I survived. I got older. I got stronger. And one day I walked out of that house and never went back. Did the nightmares stop? Not right away, but eventually. The thing about nightmares, Lily, they're just echoes, memories of pain that already happened. They can scare you, but they can't hurt you. Not anymore. How do you make them stop? Iron thought about it. You replace them with better memories, safer memories. You build a new life one piece at a time until the old stuff doesn't have room to haunt you anymore. Lily was quiet for a long moment. Then she said, can I build that here with you? Iron's throat tightened. Yeah, kiddo, you can start right here. She lay back down. Her hand found his. She held on tight. Don't leave, okay? I'm not going anywhere, she. Promise. Promise. She fell asleep, still holding his hand. Iron didn't move. Didn't want to. Didn't need to. Some things were worth losing sleep over. Dawn broke gray and cold. Iron had finally dozed off in the chair beside Lily's couch when his phone buzzed. Razor. Talk to me. He's coming back. Changed direction about an hour ago. He's hitting the places north of town now. Hardware store, feed shop, the old mill. How far? 8 miles, maybe less. In Iron, he picked up more guys. There's 6 of them now, all armed. They're not even trying to hide it. 6 against 4. 7 against 4 if you count the sheriff. Barton's been making calls all morning. Something's happening. Iron stood up. His back cracked. His knees ached. He was too old for this, but he wasn't too old to protect a child. Everyone awake? He asked. Hawk and Diesel are up. I'm heading back now. Good, we need to talk. All of us. He hung up and looked at Lily, still sleeping, peaceful for the first time in God knew how long. 8 miles, maybe 2 hours, maybe less. The 4 of them gathered in the garage bay. Lily was still asleep in the back office door, cracked so they could hear if she stirred. Here's where we stand, Iron said. Travis Boone is 6 miles out and closing. He's got 5 guys with him. Sheriff Barton is making calls, probably organizing backup. Karen Wells is working on a court order, but she needs 48 hours. We've got maybe 2. So what's the play? Hawk asked. We don't start anything. If Boone shows up, we let him make the first move, but we don't back down, and we don't let him through that door. What about Lily? She stays hidden, no matter what. If things go bad, Diesel gets her out the back. There's a cabin off Route 12, old hunting place. Nobody knows about it but us. You take her there and you wait for my call. Diesel nodded. And if your call doesn't come, then you keep her safe until Karen Wells comes through, whatever it takes. Whatever it takes, Diesel repeated. Razor spoke up. There's something else. I've been digging into Boone's history. Deep stuff. The kind that doesn't show up in regular records. What did you find? 10 years ago, Texas. A 6-year-old boy hospitalized with multiple fractures. Claimed he fell. His mother was dating Travis Boone at the time. Investigation opened, investigation closed. Family disappeared. Disappeared. Moved away. No forwarding address. Kid was never seen again. The garage went silent. 5 years ago, Razor continued. Nevada, same pattern, different family. 8-year-old girl this time. Broken arm, burns. Mother refuses to cooperate. Investigation closed. Family vanishes. Hawk's voice was hoarse. How many? That I can find 4 families. 4 kids, all before Lily. All disappeared. Iron felt cold, deep cold. The kind that started in your bones and worked its way out. You think he killed them? I think those kids either died or wish they had. And I think Travis Boone has been doing this for a long time. He's not just a monster. He's a predator. And he's very, very good at not getting caught. Iron looked toward the office. Lily's small form visible through the cracked door. Not this time, he said. This time, he doesn't win. At 9:47 a.m., a black pickup truck rolled into the parking lot. Iron watched through the window. His heart was steady. His hands were steady. He'd been waiting for this moment since Lily collapsed in his garage. Travis Boone stepped out of the truck. He was exactly what Razor had described. 6'4", shaved head, arms covered in tattoos, face like a clenched fist. 2 men got out behind him, big, armed, the kind of men who hurt people for fun. Boone walked toward the garage like he owned it, like he owned everything. Iron stepped outside. Help you, Boone stopped, sized him up, smiled a smile that didn't reach his eyes. I'm looking for someone. Little girl, about 9 years old, dark hair. She's my niece, ran off last night. Family's real worried. Haven't seen her. That right? Boone's smile widened. See, that's funny because a guy at the gas station said he saw a kid fitting that description walking this direction yesterday. Said she looked hurt. Said she was heading straight for this garage. Guy at the gas station was wrong. Maybe. Boone took a step closer. Or maybe you're lying, and I don't like liars. The garage door opened. Diesel stepped out, then Hawk, then Razor. 4 Hell's Angels. 4 men who'd seen things that would break most people. 4 men who weren't going to back down. Boone's smile flickered, just for a second. This doesn't have to be complicated, he said. I just want my niece back. She's a troubled kid, makes up stories. You can't believe anything she says. Funny thing about stories, Iron said. Sometimes they're true. Sometimes a kid walks into a garage with 40 cigarette burns and a broken pelvis. Sometimes she tells you exactly who did it. Boone's face changed. The fake friendliness dropped away. What was left was cold, empty. The face of a man who'd hurt children for pleasure and never lost a minute of sleep. You don't know what you're getting into, he said quietly. Neither do you. I've got friends, important friends. Sheriff Barton and I go way back. 1 phone call and this place is surrounded by cops. Make the call. Boone blinked. What? I said make the call. Bring your cops. Bring your friends. Bring everyone you've got. Iron stepped closer, close enough to see the veins pulsing in Boone's neck. But know this, that little girl is not leaving with you. Not today. Not ever. You want her. You go through me, and I don't lose. The 2 men stood inches apart. Neither blinked, neither breathed. Boone's hands twitched toward his waistband. Go ahead, Iron said softly. Give me a reason. 10 seconds, 20, 30. Boone stepped back. His face was twisted with rage, but there was something else there too. Fear. This isn't over, he spat. No, Iron agreed. It's not. But right now you're going to get in your truck and drive away. And if you come back, if you even think about coming back, I will end you. Understand? Boone held his gaze for one more moment. Then he turned, walked back to his truck, slammed the door. The engine roared. Tires sprayed gravel. The black pickup disappeared down the road. Diesel let out a breath. That went well. He'll be back, Hawk said. I know. Iron turned toward the garage. But not today. Today we won. Oh no. Lily was standing in the doorway of the office. She'd seen everything, heard everything. Her face was pale. Her hands were shaking. He found me, she whispered. Iron crouched in front of her. He found the garage. He didn't find you. And he's not coming back. But he said, I don't care what he said. I made you a promise, Lily. Remember, nobody touches you while I'm breathing. That hasn't changed. But what about his friends, the police? We're working on that. There are good people fighting for you right now. People who won't let him win. Lily's eyes were wet, but she wasn't crying. She was thinking. You scared him, she said finally. I saw his face. You scared him. Men like him are bullies. They're only brave when they're hurting people who can't fight back. Put them up against someone their own size and they crumble. Is that true? Every single time. Lily looked at him for a long moment. Then she did something that stopped Iron's heart. She straightened her shoulders, lifted her chin, and said, I'm not going to be scared anymore. He hurt me my whole life. He made me feel small. But I'm not small. I walked 5 miles to find help. I found you. I'm brave. Iron's throat tightened. Yeah, kiddo, you're the bravest person I've ever met. I want to fight, like you. You already are fighting. Every breath you take is a fight. Every day you survive is a victory. Lily nodded slowly. Then she took his hand. Whatever happens next, she said, I'm not running anymore. Iron squeezed her hand. Neither am I. The phone rang at 3:47 p.m. Karen Wells. I got the judge to expedite. The hearing is tomorrow morning, 8 a.m., Phoenix Courthouse. That's fast. I called in every favor I had, but Iron, there's a problem. What kind of problem? Sheriff Barton filed a report this morning. He's claiming Lily was kidnapped. By you. Iron's blood ran cold. Kidnapped? He's saying you took her against her will, that you're holding her hostage. He's issued a warrant. That's insane. She walked in here on her own. We have witnesses. I know, but Barton has friends in the department. If his guys find you before we get to that hearing, they'll take Lily and return her to Boone. And there won't be anything I can do. Iron's mind raced. How long do we have? Barton's warrant is county level. Phoenix is state jurisdiction. He can't touch you there. If you can get Lily to the courthouse by 8 a.m. tomorrow, we can present our evidence before any local cops get involved. That's a 4-hour drive. Then you'd better leave tonight. Iron looked at Lily. She was watching him with those big brown eyes, trusting him, believing in him. We'll be there, he said. 8 a.m., no matter what. He hung up. Pack up, he told his brothers. We're moving tonight. Diesel nodded. Where? Phoenix. We've got a court date. And Barton, Iron's jaw tightened. He wants to call us kidnappers, fine. Let him. But he's not stopping us. Nobody's stopping us. He looked at Lily. You ready for a road trip, kiddo? She didn't hesitate. I'm ready. They left at midnight. 4 motorcycles. 1 truck. 1 little girl who'd walked 5 miles on broken legs to find help. The highway stretched out ahead of them, dark and endless. Behind them, a monster was gathering his army. Ahead, a judge waited to hear the truth. And somewhere in between, a war was about to begin. The desert stretched out like a black ocean under the midnight sky. Iron rode point his headlight cutting through the darkness. Behind him, Diesel drove the truck with Lily in the back seat, wrapped in a blanket, eyes wide open despite the late hour. Hawk and Razor flanked the truck on both sides, engines rumbling low and steady. 4 hours to Phoenix. 4 hours to keep a little girl alive. Iron checked his mirrors every 30 seconds. The road behind them was empty, but that didn't mean anything. Barton had resources. Boone had rage. Both of them were hunting. His phone buzzed in his vest pocket. He pulled over, signaling the others to stop. Razor's voice came through. What's wrong? Call coming in, Iron answered. Yeah, Karen Wells. Her voice was tight. Where are you? About an hour out. Why? Barton just expanded the warrant. He's claiming you crossed county lines with a minor. That makes it a federal matter now. Iron's stomach dropped. Federal. He's trying to get the FBI involved. If they pick you up before you reach Phoenix, they won't. Iron, listen to me. I've got Judge Santos on standby. She's agreed to hear emergency testimony at 6 a.m. instead of 8. But you need to be there. If you're late, if you don't show up, Barton wins by default. We'll be there. There's something else. Karen paused. Boone is on the move. My contact at the gas station says he passed through 20 minutes ago. He's heading your direction. And he's not alone. Iron looked back at the truck. Through the windshield, he could see Lily's face pale in the dashboard light. How many? At least 6, maybe more. Thanks for the heads up. He hung up and walked back to the truck. Diesel rolled down his window. What's the word? Boone's coming. 6 men, and Barton just made this federal. Diesel cursed under his breath. What do we do? Iron looked at Lily. She was watching him through the guan, reading his face like a book. We keep moving. Faster. He got back on his bike. The engines roared to life. They pushed harder into the night. Lily pressed her face against the window. Diesel. Yeah, sweetheart. Is he going to catch us? Diesel glanced at her in the rearview mirror. No, he's not. How do you know? Because I made a promise, and I don't break promises. Lily was quiet for a moment. Then she said, Iron made me a promise too. He said nobody would hurt me while he was breathing. That's right. What if he stops breathing? The question hit Diesel like a punch. He gripped the steering wheel tighter. Then I'll keep the promise for him. And if something happens to me, Hawk will. And then Razor. You understand there's a whole line of people between you and that monster. He's not getting through. Lily nodded slowly. She pulled the blanket tighter around herself. My daddy used to say that too, that he'd protect me. Then he got sick and went away. I'm not going anywhere, Lily. Everyone says that. I know, but some of us mean it. She looked out the window at the darkness rushing past. I want to believe you. That's a start. They drove in silence for another 20 minutes. Then Lily spoke again. Diesel. Yeah. Why do you do this? Help people, I mean. You don't know me. I'm nobody. Diesel's jaw tightened. You're not nobody. And I do this because... He stopped, started again. I have a daughter, Rosa. She's 14 now. When she was 6, her mother and I split up. Bad situation. Her mother's boyfriend at the time, he wasn't a good man. Lily's eyes widened. Did he hurt her? He tried. I found out just in time. Showed up at the house and took her. Didn't ask permission. Didn't call the cops. Just grabbed her and left. What happened to him, the boyfriend? Diesel was quiet for a long moment. He learned not to touch children. Lily processed this. You saved her. I did what any father should do. The problem is not every kid has someone willing to do that. Some kids get left behind, forgotten, hurt. He looked at her in the mirror. When you walked into that garage at Rosa, I saw every kid who ever needed help and didn't get it. That's why we're here. That's why we're doing this. Lily's eyes were wet. Thank you. Don't thank me yet. We're not done. Iron's bike suddenly slowed. He held up a fist. The convoy stopped. Diesel squinted through the windshield. What's he see? About half a mile ahead, headlights, multiple vehicles parked across the road. Iron walked back to the truck. Roadblock. Cops? Can't tell. Could be Barton's people. Could be Boone's. Hawk pulled up beside them. We can't go through. If it's feds, we're done. And if it's Boone, then we're in a fight. Iron looked at the roadblock, then at the surrounding terrain. Desert, rocks, a dirt road branching off to the left about a quarter-mile back. That side road, where does it go? Razor checked his phone. Loops around, adds about 40 minutes to the trip, comes out on Highway 60 near Apache Junction. 40 minutes we don't have. Better than getting arrested. Or shot. Iron made the call. We take the side road. Diesel, kill your headlights. We run dark. They turned around, found the dirt road, killed the lights. The darkness was absolute. Iron could barely see the road ahead. He slowed down, feeling his way forward, trusting instinct more than vision. Behind him, Diesel drove by memory and prayer. Lily had gone completely silent, her hand pressed against the window, like she could push away the darkness. They drove for 10 minutes, 15. The dirt road twisted through the desert like a wounded snake. Then Razor's voice crackled through the phone. We got company. Iron looked back. Headlights, maybe a mile behind, coming fast. They found us. How? Doesn't matter. Move. The engines roared. Caution abandoned. They tore through the darkness, kicking up dust and rocks. Lily gripped the door handle. They're getting closer. Diesel pushed the truck harder. Hold on, sweetheart. The headlights behind them split into three sets. Three vehicles, spreading out, trying to flank them. Iron's phone buzzed. Hawk's voice. They're trying to box us in. I see it. Razor, how far to the highway? 2 miles, maybe 3. Can we make it if we don't slow down? Iron didn't slow down. None of them did. The dirt road curved sharply. Iron leaned into it almost too fast. His bike skidded, caught, held. Behind him, Diesel wrestled the truck through the turn. The back end fishtailed. Lily screamed. Hold on, Diesel shouted. The truck straightened. They kept moving, 1 mile to the highway. The headlights were closer now, close enough that Iron could see the outline of the lead vehicle in his mirror. Black pickup, lifted suspension. Travis Boone. It's him, Iron said into his phone. Boone's leading them. What do we do to him? We don't stop, no matter what. We get to that highway and we don't look back. Half a mile. The pavement was visible now, a dark ribbon cutting through the desert. Behind them, Boone's truck surged forward. He was trying to ram the convoy, trying to force them off the road. Razor dropped back, put himself between Boone and the truck. What the hell are you doing? Iron shouted. Buying time. Go. Razor slowed his bike, weaved across the road, blocked Boone's path. Boone swerved, missed, cursed. The highway was right there, 50 yards, 30, 20. Iron's tires hit pavement, then Hawk, then Diesel. Razor was still on the dirt road, still blocking, still buying them seconds. Razor, move! Boone's truck clipped the back of Razor's bike. Metal screamed, sparks flew, Razor went down. Iron slammed his brakes. No, Hawk grabbed his arm. We can't stop. He's down. And Lily's in that truck. We stop now. We lose everything. Iron looked back. Razor was on the ground, not moving. Boone's truck had stopped. Men were getting out. Every instinct screamed at Iron to go back, to fight, to save his brother. But Lily's face was pressed against the truck's back window, terrified, trusting. Go, Iron said. The word tasted like ash. Go. They drove. They left Razor behind. Lily watched through the window until the headlights disappeared into the darkness. Is he dead? She whispered. Nobody answered. They reached the outskirts of Phoenix at 4:47 a.m. Iron pulled into a gas station. His hands were shaking. He couldn't make them stop. Diesel got out of the truck. His face was gray. He's gone, Iron. They have him. I know. We left him. I know. Hawk punched the side of the truck. We should go back. Right now. We find them and what? Iron's voice was hollow. Get ourselves killed. Get Lily killed. That's what Razor would want. He's our brother. He made a choice. He knew what he was doing. Iron's voice cracked. He bought us time. We don't waste it. Lily had gotten out of the truck. She stood there, small and silent, watching them fall apart. This is my fault, she said. All three men turned. If I hadn't come to your garage, if I hadn't, Iron dropped to one knee, took her hands. Listen to me. None of this is your fault, not one damn thing. The only people responsible are Travis Boone and the people who protect him. You understand you didn't do this. You survived this. There's a difference. But Razor chose to help you, same as all of us. He knew the risks. He took them anyway. Because that's what good men do. Lily's tears spilled over. I don't want anyone else to get hurt. Neither do I, but sometimes getting hurt is the price of doing what's right. Iron stood up. We've got 1 hour before the hearing. We're going to that courthouse. We're going to tell the truth, and we're going to end this. For you, for Razor, for every kid that a monster ever touched. Lily wiped her eyes, nodded. Okay. Iron looked at Diesel and Hawk. Let's finish this. The Phoenix courthouse rose against the lightning sky like a fortress. Iron had never trusted courthouses. They were places where men in suits decided the fate of people they'd never met. Places where truth and law didn't always mean the same thing. But today, it was their only chance. Karen Wells met them at the side entrance. Her face was exhausted but determined. "You made it." "Barely." Iron looked at her. "Razor's gone. They took him." Karen's face paled. "How?" "Boone ran him off the road. We had to keep moving." "My God. Can we still do this?" Karen straightened. "Yes, Judge Santos is waiting, but Iron, they know you're here. Barton called the Phoenix PD. They're looking for you, Joe. How long do we have?" 30 minutes, maybe less." "Then let's not waste time." They entered through a back door, walked through empty hallways that echoed with their footsteps. Karen led them to a small courtroom where a woman in black robes sat behind the bench. Judge Maria Santos was 60 years old with silver hair and eyes that had seen every lie ever told. She looked at Iron, at Lily, at the two remaining bikers. "You're the Hells Angels," she said. "Yes, ma'am." "And this is the child, Lily Boone, 9 years old, victim of systematic abuse by her step-uncle Travis Boone." The judge looked at Lily, her expression softened, just a fraction. "Come here, child." Lily looked at Iron. He nodded. She walked forward, stopped in front of the bench. "Are you afraid?" the judge asked. Lily shook her head. "Not anymore." "Why not?" "Because they helped me." She pointed at Iron and his brothers. "They didn't have to, but they did." "Can you tell me what happened to you?" Lily took a deep breath, and she told her story. She told about the pushings, the kickings, the cigarette burns, the nights hiding in the shed, the mother who saw everything and did nothing, the walk through the desert on broken legs. She told it all, simply, clearly, without tears. When she finished, the courtroom was silent. Judge Santos removed her glasses, rubbed her eyes, put them back on. "Mrs. Wells, the medical evidence," Karen handed over the folder. 43 documented burn marks, pelvic fracture, multiple contusions in various stages of healing. Dr. Martinez's sworn statement is included. The judge reviewed the documents. Her jaw tightened with each page. "And Sheriff Barton has blocked 3 separate investigations. We have records of calls between Barton and Boone dating back 18 months, and documentation of similar cases in Texas and Nevada that were never prosecuted. The pattern evidence, 4 other children, same circumstances, all disappeared after investigations were closed." Judge Santos set down the folder. She looked at Iron. "Mr. Hayes, you understand that Sheriff Barton has accused you of kidnapping?" "Yes, ma'am." "What do you have to say to that?" Iron stepped forward. "Your Honor, that little girl walked into my garage 3 days ago. She couldn't close her legs because she'd been kicked so hard her pelvis was fractured. She had burn marks all over her back, and she begged me not to send her home." "And you didn't call the police?" "Her uncle has police friends. She told me nobody believed her. And based on what I've learned about Sheriff Barton, she was right. So you took matters into your own hands." "I protected a child who had nobody else. I'd do it again." The judge studied him for a long moment. "I believe you would." The courtroom doors burst open. 2 Phoenix police officers rushed in. Behind them, a man in a sheriff's uniform. Cole Barton. "Your Honor, this man is wanted for kidnapping." Barton pointed at Iron. "I demand he be taken into custody immediately." Judge Santos didn't flinch. "Sheriff Barton, you're out of your jurisdiction. This is a federal matter now. That man crossed state lines with a minor he was protecting from documented abuse in your county, abuse you repeatedly failed to investigate." Barton's face reddened. "That's a lie. I have phone records, Sheriff, calls between you and Travis Boone, dating back 18 months. Would you like me to read them into evidence?" Barton's mouth opened, closed, opened again. This is an outrage. I can and I will." Judge Santos stood. "Sheriff Cole Barton, based on evidence presented to this court, I am ordering an immediate investigation into your conduct regarding the Lily Boone case and all related matters. You are hereby suspended from duty pending review." "You don't have the authority." "I have exactly the authority. This is my courtroom, and in my courtroom, we protect children." She turned to the Phoenix officers. "Take him into custody." Barton struggled as the officers grabbed his arms. You're making a mistake. Travis Boone will be dealt with next. Judge Santos looked at Iron. Mr. Hayes, do you know where he is? Iron's jaw tightened. Last I saw, he was on a dirt road outside Apache Junction. He has one of my men. Your man's name? Raymond Torres, goes by Razor. The judge turned to Karen. Contact the FBI. Tell them we have a kidnapping situation, a real one, and possible evidence of serial child abuse spanning multiple states. Karen was already on her phone. Judge Santos looked at Lily. The little girl stood in the center of the courtroom watching everything with wide eyes. Lily. Yes, ma'am. You're safe now. By order of this court, you are placed under emergency protective custody. You will not be returned to your mother or anyone connected to Travis Boone. Do you understand? Lily nodded slowly. Then she looked at Iron. Can I stay with them, the bikers? The judge hesitated. That's unconventional. They saved me. They're the only ones who helped. Judge Santos looked at Iron, at Diesel and Hawk, at their leather vests and tattoos and the exhaustion carved into their faces. These men risked everything for you, she said finally. I think we can work something out. Iron exhaled, a breath he hadn't known he was holding. Then his phone rang. Unknown number. He answered. Hayes? The voice was cold, familiar. Travis Boone. You think you won? You think this is over? Iron's blood went cold. Where's Razor? Your friend is right here. Say hi, Ray. A grunt of pain. Then Razor's voice weak but alive. Don't negotiate with this. The line muffled. Boone came back. Here's how this works. You took something from me. I took something from you. Fair trade. What do you want? The girl, bring her to the old mill on Route 60, midnight tonight, alone or your friend dies. If you hurt him, he's already hurt. Question is how much worse it gets. Boone's voice dropped. You think a judge can stop me? You think any of this matters? I've been doing this for 20 years. Nobody stops me. Nobody. The line went dead. Iron stood frozen. The phone felt like a lead weight in his hand. Diesel read his face. What is it? Boone has Razor. He wants a trade. Lily for Razor. Midnight. Lily's face went white. No. Nobody's trading anybody. Iron turned to Judge Santos. Your Honor, we need help. Now. The judge was already moving. FBI is 15 minutes out. We'll coordinate a rescue. 15 minutes might be too long. It's what we have. Stay here. Let the authorities handle this. Iron looked at Lily, at Diesel, at Hawk. Yeah, he said, sure. But they all knew what was coming next. Some things couldn't wait for authorities. Some things had to be handled by men who'd already lost too much to lose anything else. Iron walked to the window, looked out at the Phoenix skyline. Somewhere out there, a monster was waiting. And tonight, one way or another, this ended. Iron didn't wait for the FBI. He walked out of the courtroom before Judge Santos could stop him. Diesel and Hawk followed. No words, no questions. They knew. Karen Wells caught up with them in the hallway. What are you doing? What needs to be done? The FBI will be here in 10 minutes. They have resources, training. You can't. Iron turned to face her. Boone has my brother. He's had him for hours. Every minute we wait is another minute Razor might not have. And if you get killed, then at least I died trying. Iron's voice was steady. You did your part, Karen. You got Lily safe. Now let me do mine. Karen stared at him. Something shifted in her eyes. Respect, fear, understanding. The old mill on Route 60, she said quietly. It's been abandoned for years. 3 buildings, main structure, storage shed, and an old office. If Boone's smart, he'll have men in all 3. How do you know that place? I grew up around here, used to play there as a kid before they shut it down. She grabbed his arm. There's a back entrance, through the storage shed. Most people don't know about it. Iron nodded. Thank you. Don't thank me. Just bring your friend back alive. Iron walked away. Diesel and Hawk fell in beside him. What's the plan? Diesel asked. We hit the mill. We get Razor. We end this. 3 of us against how many? Doesn't matter. Hawk spoke up. He's right. Doesn't matter. We've beaten worse odds. They reached the parking lot. Their bikes sat waiting. The truck was still there, keys in the ignition. Iron stopped. Lily was standing by the truck. She must have slipped out behind them. Her face was pale but determined. Take me with you. No. He wants me. If you show up without me, he'll kill Razor. We're not trading you for anyone. I know. Lily stepped closer. But he doesn't know that. If he thinks I'm there, he'll let his guard down. He'll focus on me. That's when you hit him. Iron stared at her, 9 years old, offering herself as bait to save a man she barely knew. Absolutely not. Iron, her voice was stronger now, older. He's been hurting me my whole life. Every night I went to sleep scared. Every morning I woke up scared. I'm done being scared. I want to help. I need to help. Diesel crouched beside her. Sweetheart, this isn't your fight. Yes, it is. It's been my fight since the first time he hit me. Lily looked at Iron. You said I was brave. You said I survived. Let me do more than survive. Let me fight back. The words hit Iron like a hammer. He saw himself in her. The boy who'd been too afraid to stand up. The boy who'd run instead of fought. She wasn't running. You stay into the truck, he said finally. You don't get out, no matter what. You hear shooting, you drive away. Understand? Lily nodded. Iron, I understand. Diesel, you're with her. Keep her safe. Diesel's jaw tightened. Iron. That's not negotiable. She's the priority, always. Diesel looked at Lily, then at Iron. He nodded. Hawk, you're with me. Wouldn't have it any other way. They mounted up. The engines roared. The convoy pulled out of the parking lot and headed toward Route 60, toward the old mill, toward the end. The sun was setting when they reached the turnoff. Orange light bled across the horizon like a wound. Iron killed his headlight. Hawk did the same. They rolled to a stop about half a mile from the mill. Iron pulled out his phone, called Karen. We're in position. FBI is 20 minutes behind you. Can you wait? No. Iron. If Boone sees feds coming, Razor's dead. We go in now, quiet. By the time your people arrive, it'll be over. Karen was silent for a moment. Be careful. Always am. He hung up. Diesel pulled the truck off the road, hidden behind a cluster of rocks. He looked at Iron through the window. How do you want to do this? Karen said there's a back entrance through the storage shed. Hawk and I go in that way. You stay here with Lily. If things go wrong, you get her out. And leave you behind. If it comes to that, yes. Diesel's face hardened. That's not how we do things. Tonight it is. She's what matters. Everything else is secondary. Lily spoke from the back seat. Iron, yeah, kiddo, don't die. Despite everything, Iron almost smiled. I'll do my best. He and Hawk moved on foot toward the mill. The ground was rough. Rocks and desert scrub. Each step careful. Each breath measured. Hawk whispered, how many you think? 6 minimum, maybe more. Armed. Count on it. Great. They reached the storage shed. The door was rusted, barely hanging on its hinges. Iron eased it open. The metal groaned softly. Inside darkness, the smell of old oil and decay. Iron's eyes adjusted slowly. A door at the far end. Karen had been right. They moved through the shed, slow, silent. Hawk covered their rear while Iron led the way. Iron reached the door, pressed his ear against it. Voices. He couldn't make out words, but the tone was clear. Angry, threatening, and underneath it all, a sound that made his blood freeze. Razor, screaming. Iron's hand went to the door handle. Hawk grabbed his arm. Wait. He's hurting him. We go in blind, we all die. Iron forced himself to breathe, to think. Hawk was right. Emotion would get them killed. He looked around the shed, found a crack in the wall, peered through. The main building was maybe 50 yards away. Lights on inside, shadows moving. He counted 4 men visible through the windows. Boone was probably in there too. And Razor. 4 that I can see, Iron whispered. Could be more. We need a distraction. Like what? Before Hawk could answer, Iron's phone buzzed. A text from Diesel. Lily's gone. Iron's heart stopped. He read it again. Lily's gone. She slipped out. I lost her. No. The word came out, strangled. No, no, no. Hawk read the text over his shoulder. Jesus Christ. Iron was already moving. Back through the shed, out into the night. He scanned the darkness. Nothing. She was small, fast. She could be anywhere. Then he heard it. A voice, small but clear, coming from the direction of the main building. Travis, I'm here. You wanted me, here I am, Lily. She was walking toward the mill, alone, arms raised, surrendering herself. Iron started to run. Hawk grabbed him, pulled him down behind a rusted piece of machinery. Let me go. You run out there, they shoot you both. She's gonna get herself killed. She's buying us time. She knows exactly what she's doing. Iron watched in horror as Lily approached the mill. The front door opened. Two men came out, guns drawn. They grabbed her, roughly pulled her inside. The door slammed shut. Iron's chest felt like it was collapsing. He'd promised to protect her. He'd sworn no one would hurt her while he was breathing. And now she was in there, with the monster. We have to move, Hawk said. Now, while they're focused on her. Iron nodded, his face had gone cold, empty. The rage was still there, but it had transformed into something harder, something dangerous. Through the back, we hit them fast. We don't stop until everyone who touched her is down. Copy. They moved. The back door was unlocked. Boone's men had got sloppy, distracted by their prize. Iron and Hawk slipped inside. The interior of the mill was a maze of old equipment and abandoned machinery. Voices echoed from somewhere deeper in the building. Boone's voice, loud, triumphant. See, I told you she'd come back. They always come back, because they know what happens if they don't. Iron crept forward. Hawk covered him from behind. They reached a doorway. Iron pressed himself against the wall, peered around the corner. A large room, open space, industrial. Razor was tied to a chair in the center. His face was bloody, one eye swollen shut. But he was alive, breathing. Lily stood in front of Boone. Her hands were bound. A man held her by the arm, keeping her in place. Boone circled her like a shark. You know how much trouble you've caused me running away, talking to strangers, making me look bad. Lily didn't flinch. You are bad. Boone backhanded her. She stumbled but didn't fall. The man holding her kept her upright. Iron's vision went red. Hawk's hand on his shoulder. Steady. Warning. 4 men, Hawk breathed. 2 near Razor, one holding Lily, one by the door, Boone in the center. I see them. On your signal. Iron counted. 3, 2, 1. He moved. The first man went down before he even saw Iron coming. A punch to the throat, a kick to the knee. He crumpled, gasping. Hawk took the second man near Razor, fast. Brutal, the man's gun clattered across the floor. Boone spun, his eyes went wide. Iron didn't stop. He charged straight at the man holding Lily, tackled him. They went down hard. Iron's fist connected with the man's jaw, once, twice, 3 times. The man stopped moving. Lily scrambled away, her hands still bound, but free. Boone pulled a gun. Iron froze. Don't move. Boone's voice was shaking. The gun was pointed at Iron's chest. Don't you dare move. Behind him, Hawk had stopped too. The 4th man, the one by the door, had his own gun trained on Hawk. Standoff. Razor coughed from his chair. Iron, get out of here. Shut up, Boone screamed. He was sweating, panicking. Things had gone wrong too fast. Everybody shut up. Iron stayed still. His voice was calm. It's over, Travis. It's not over. It's never over. I decide when it's over. The FBI is 5 minutes out. Judge Santos has already issued warrants. Your friend Barton is in custody. You've got nowhere to go. Then I've got nothing to lose. He swung the gun toward Lily. Iron moved. He threw himself between Boone and the girl. The gun went off. The sound was deafening. Iron felt something punch into his shoulder, hot, burning. He didn't stop. He hit Boone at full speed. They crashed into a stack of old crates. The gun flew from Boone's hand. Iron's fist connected with the man's face. Again. You don't touch her. Each word was a blow. You don't look at her. You don't even think about her. Boone's nose shattered. Blood sprayed. He tried to fight back, but Iron was beyond reason, beyond control. 20 years of rage. Every kid he couldn't save. Every monster who'd gotten away. It all came out. Hawk pulled him off before he killed the man. Iron, he's done. It's over. Iron stood there, chest heaving. His knuckles were raw. Blood dripped from his shoulder where the bullet had grazed him. Boone lay on the floor, barely conscious. Broken. Lily rushed forward. She threw her arms around Iron's waist, her bound hands pressing against his back. "You came," she sobbed. "You came for me." Iron dropped to his knees, wrapped his arms around her, held her tight. "I told you, nobody hurts you while I'm breathing." Behind them, Hawk was cutting Razor free. Razor slumped forward, barely able to stand. "Took you long enough," he mumbled. "You're welcome." The fourth man had fled when the shooting started. Smart choice. Sirens wailed in the distance. Getting closer, Iron looking at Boone, the man who'd tortured children for 20 years, the monster who'd finally been brought down. "You're done," Iron said quietly. "Every kid you ever hurt, every life you destroyed, it ends here." Boone spat blood, tried to speak, couldn't. Iron turned away. He didn't need to hear it. Diesel burst through the door, gun drawn. His face was white. She's okay." Iron was still holding Lily. "She's okay." Diesel's legs nearly gave out with relief. He ran to them, dropped to his knees beside Lily. "Don't you ever do that again. You hear me? Don't you ever." "I had to," Lily said. "He was going to kill Razor. I had to do something." "You could have died." "So could you. So could all of you." She looked at each of them. "But you came anyway. For me, a stranger. Nobody's ever done that before." Diesel's eyes were wet. "You're not a stranger. Not anymore." FBI agents poured into the building, guns drawn, shouting commands. Iron raised his hands. Diesel and Hawk did the same. "Don't shoot. We're the ones who called you." Karen Wells appeared behind the agents. "Stand down. They're with me." The chaos slowly resolved. Boone was handcuffed, dragged to his feet, shoved toward a waiting vehicle. His men were rounded up one by one. An agent approached Iron. "You're Marcus Hayes." "Yeah. You're either the bravest man I've ever met or the dumbest." Iron looked at Lily. She was standing with Diesel, now safe, alive, free. "Probably both." The agent almost smiled. "We'll need statements from all of you after she sees a doctor." Iron nodded toward Lily. "And him," he pointed at Razor. "They're the priorities." "Agreed." The agent turned to his team. "Get medics in here." Iron sat down on an overturned crate. The adrenaline was fading. The pain in his shoulder was getting worse. He pressed his hand against the wound, felt the warm blood seeping through his fingers. Lily broke away from Diesel. She walked over to Iron, sat down beside him. "You're hurt. I've had worse." "Liar," he laughed. It hurt, but he laughed anyway. "Maybe." "Iron." "Yeah, kiddo. Is it really over?" He looked at her, at this incredible, brave, broken girl who'd walked 5 miles on fractured legs to find help, who'd offered herself as bait to save a man she barely knew, who'd survived things no child should ever have to survive. "The hard part is over," he said. The rest is just healing. And that takes time, but you're going to be okay, I promise." "How do you know?" "Because you're the strongest person I've ever met. And because you're not alone anymore." Lily leaned against him. Her head barely reached his shoulder. "Neither are you," she said quietly. Iron closed his eyes, felt something he hadn't felt in years. Hope. The medics arrived. They patched up Iron's shoulder, tended to Razor's injuries, checked Lily for new wounds. She had a bruise on her cheek from where Boone had hit her. Nothing else. Physically, at least. Karen Wells found Iron as he was getting bandaged. "Judge Santos wants to see you tomorrow morning to discuss Lily's placement." "What are the options?" "Foster care most likely, unless—" She hesitated. "Unless what?" "Unless someone steps up, someone she trusts, someone who's proven they'll protect her." Iron looked at Karen. "Are you saying what I think you're saying?" "I'm saying the judge is open to unconventional solutions, given the circumstances." Iron's heart beat faster. "I'm a biker. I've got a record. No judge is going to—" "This judge might, especially after what you did tonight." Karen touched his arm. "Think about it. That's all I'm asking." She walked away. Iron sat there processing. Him, a father, to Lily. It was insane, impossible, irresponsible. And yet, he looked across the room. Lily was sitting with Diesel and Hawk. She was laughing at something Razor said, Razor, who was telling jokes despite the blood still drying on his face. She fit with them, like she'd always been there. Maybe some families weren't born. Maybe some were built. Hawk walked over. How's the shoulder? Hurts like hell. Good, means you're alive. Hawk sat down beside him. What Karen said about Lily. You heard that. Hard not to. Hawk paused. You should do it. I don't know anything about raising a kid. You knew enough to save one. That's more than most people can say. What about the club? What about the club is family, always has been. We take care of our own. Hawk looked at Lily. She's one of us now, whether you adopt her or not. Iron was quiet for a long moment. What if I screw it up? Then we help you fix it. That's what brothers do. Iron felt the weight of the decision pressing down on him. The biggest choice of his life. But when he looked at Lily, it didn't feel like a choice at all. It felt like destiny. The night stretched on. Statements were given. Reports were filed. Travis Boone was transported to federal custody, his crimes now spanning multiple states. Sheriff Barton's corruption was fully exposed. 3 other deputies were arrested for obstruction. The investigation would take months, maybe years, but the foundation had been laid. And Lily Boone, 9 years old, 43 cigarette burns, a fractured pelvis that was slowly healing, fell asleep in the back of an FBI vehicle, surrounded by 4 Hell's Angels who'd become her family. Iron watched her sleep, her face peaceful for the first time since he'd met her. Whatever happens tomorrow, he said quietly, we did good tonight. Diesel nodded. Yeah, we did. Razor, despite his injuries, managed a weak smile. So does this mean I get a medal because I feel like getting kidnapped and tortured should earn something? Hawk laughed. How about a beer? I'll take it. Iron's phone buzzed. Karen Wells. The judge confirmed tomorrow's hearing. 9 a.m. Be there. I will. And Iron, she asked me to tell you something. What? Karen's voice was warm. She said heroes come in all shapes, even ones with leather jackets and bad reputations. Iron hung up. Heroes. He'd never thought of himself that way. Never wanted to, but maybe it wasn't about what you called yourself. Maybe it was about what you did when it mattered. He looked at his brothers, at the sleeping girl they'd risked everything to save. Tomorrow a judge would decide Lily's future. But tonight she was safe. She was loved. She was home. And for now, that was enough. He sat in the waiting room of the Phoenix FBI field office, shoulder throbbing, mind racing. The others had crashed on whatever surfaces they could find. Diesel sprawled across 2 chairs, Hawk leaning against a wall, Razor stretched out on a bench despite his injuries. Lily slept in a separate room watched over by a female agent who'd taken an immediate liking to her. Safe, warm, protected. But Iron couldn't rest. Karen's words kept echoing in his head. Someone she trusts, someone who's proven they'll protect her. Him, a foster father. The idea was absurd. He'd spent his life breaking things, breaking rules, breaking bones, breaking promises to women who'd tried to love him and failed. What did he know about raising a child? His phone buzzed, text from an unknown number. Can't sleep either. He looked up. Karen Wells stood in the doorway, 2 cups of coffee in her hands. Figured you'd be awake. She handed him one. How's the shoulder? Manageable. She sat down across from him. Want to talk about it? About what? Whatever's keeping you up. And don't say it's the coffee because you haven't touched it yet. Iron stared at the cup in his hands. Steam rose in lazy spirals. I'm not father material, he said finally. Says who? Says everyone who's ever known me. Says my record. Says common sense. Karen was quiet for a moment. Can I tell you something? Go ahead. I've been a social worker for 15 years. I've placed hundreds of kids, foster homes, group homes, relatives, strangers. And you know what I've learned? What? The best parents aren't the ones with the perfect houses or the clean records or the fancy degrees. They're the ones who show up, who fight, who refuse to give up on a kid even when it would be easier to walk away. She looked at him. You drove through the night to get her to safety. You took a bullet for her. You faced down a monster without flinching. That's not nothing, Iron. That's everything. One night doesn't make a father. No, but it's a start. Karen leaned forward. Lily trusts you. Do you understand how rare that is after everything she's been through? She doesn't trust easily. She doesn't trust at all, but she trusts you. Iron's throat tightened. What if I let her down? What if you don't? The question hung in the air between them. Iron thought about his own father, the fists, the rage, the nights spent hiding in closets praying for morning. He'd sworn he'd never be like that man, never raise a hand in anger, never let fear be the loudest voice in a child's life. But what if he was wrong? What if the violence was in his blood waiting to surface? I'm scared, he admitted. The words came out rough, unfamiliar. He couldn't remember the last time he'd said them out loud. Karen's expression softened. Good. Good. Fear means you care. It means you're taking this seriously. The people who scare me are the ones who aren't afraid. The ones who think they've got it all figured out. She stood up. The hearing's in 4 hours. Get some rest if you can, and Iron. Yeah. Whatever you decide, make sure it's for the right reasons. Not because you're scared of failing, because you're ready to treat thee. She walked away. Iron sat alone with his coffee and his doubts. 4 hours. 4 hours to make the biggest decision of his life. The sun rose over Phoenix like a promise. Iron showered in the FBI facility's locker room, changed into clean clothes someone had brought jeans, a plain black shirt, his leather vest. He looked at himself in the mirror. Same scars, same tattoos, same tired eyes. But something was different. Something had shifted. Diesel found him in the hallway. You ready? No. Good, neither am I. Diesel clapped him on the shoulder, the good one. Whatever happens in there, we've got your back. I know. And Iron, for what it's worth, I think you'd be a good dad. You're biased. Damn right I am. Doesn't make me wrong. They walked to the courthouse together. Hawk and Razor were already there, cleaned up as best they could manage. Razor was in a wheelchair, doctor's orders, but he'd refused to miss the hearing. Wouldn't miss this for the world, he'd said. Not every day you see Iron become a family man. Nothing's decided yet. Sure it isn't. Lily was waiting outside the courtroom. A female agent stood beside her, but Lily's eyes were fixed on Iron. She was wearing new clothes, a simple blue dress someone had found for her. Her hair was brushed. The bruise on her cheek was already fading. She looked like a different kid, but her eyes were the same. Brown, huge, watching him like he was the answer to every prayer she'd ever whispered. Iron, yeah, kiddo. Are you nervous? He crouched down to her level. A little, you wish, a lot. She fidgeted with the hem of her dress. What if the judge says no? What if she sends me somewhere else? Then we figure it out, together. No matter what happens in that room, I'm not disappearing. Understand, I made you a promise. You've made a lot of promises, and I've kept every single one. Lily's lips trembled. I want to stay with you. I know it's probably stupid. I know you have your own life and your club and everything. But when I'm with you, I feel, she struggled for the words. I feel like I matter, like someone actually sees me. Iron's heart cracked wide open. You do matter, he said, more than you know. And I see you, Lily. I've seen you since the moment you walked into my garage. Then don't let them take me away. Please. I'm going to do everything they can. I promise. The courtroom doors opened. They're ready for you, the agent said. Iron stood, took a breath, looked at his brothers. Let's do this. Judge Maria Santos sat behind the bench, same silver hair, same sharp eyes. But something in her expression had changed since yesterday. There was warmth there now. Respect. Karen Wells sat at a table to the left. A court-appointed child advocate, a woman named Dr. Patricia Reyes, sat to the right. Lily was brought in and seated between them. Iron and his brothers took seats in the gallery. The hearing was closed to the public, but they'd been granted special permission to attend. Judge Santos opened a folder. We're here today to determine the temporary custody of Lily Marie Boone, age 9. Given the extraordinary circumstances of this case, I've expedited the proceedings. She looked at Karen. Ms. Wells, please summarize. Karen stood. Your Honor, Lily Boone has been the victim of sustained physical and emotional abuse by Travis Boone, her mother's boyfriend. Medical evidence documents 43 cigarette burns, a fractured pelvis, and multiple contusions in various stages of healing. Mr. Boone is currently in federal custody, facing charges in multiple states. Lily's mother, Dina Carter, has been arrested as an accessory and is awaiting trial. The child has no other family. Her biological father passed away 2 years ago. His family is estranged. There are no other relatives willing or able to take custody. Judge Santos nodded. Dr. Reyes, your assessment. The child advocate stood. I've spent the last several hours with Lily. She's remarkably resilient, but she's also deeply traumatized. She has difficulty trusting adults, which is understandable given her history. However, she's formed a strong attachment to the individuals who rescued her, specifically Marcus Hayes and his associates. The Hells Angels. Yes, Your Honor. A murmur rippled through the small courtroom. Judge Santos silenced it with a look. Continue. Lily speaks of Mr. Hayes with a level of trust I rarely see in abuse survivors. She credits him with saving her life. She's expressed a strong desire to remain in his care. And your professional recommendation? Derrick kind of hesitated. This is unconventional. Mr. Hayes has a criminal record. His lifestyle is not what we typically look for in a foster placement. However, Lily's emotional well-being must be the priority. Removing her from the only people she trusts could cause additional trauma. My recommendation is to explore temporary placement with Mr. Hayes while we conduct a full evaluation. Judge Santos turned to Iron. Mr. Hayes, please approach. Iron stood. His legs felt unsteady, but he walked forward with as much confidence as he could muster. You've heard Dr. Reyes' assessment. Do you have anything to add? Iron looked at Lily. She was watching him with those big brown eyes, hope and fear warring on her face. Your Honor, I'm not going to stand here and pretend I'm the obvious choice. I've made mistakes, a lot of them. I've spent time in prison. I've hurt people. I've lived a life that most folks wouldn't consider respectable. Judge Santos raised an eyebrow. You're not making a compelling case for yourself. I'm making an honest one because Lily deserves honesty. She's had enough lies to last a lifetime. Go on. Iron took a breath. 3 days ago, that little girl walked into my garage with a broken body and a broken heart. She'd walked 5 miles on legs that could barely hold her up. She did that because her daddy once told her that bikers were family, that we protect people. His voice cracked. He kept going. I didn't ask for this, didn't plan for it. But when she looked at me and begged me not to send her back, something changed. I couldn't turn away. I couldn't pretend it wasn't my problem. Because it was. It is. She's not just some case file or statistic. She's a kid. A brave, strong, incredible kid who deserves someone in her corner. And you believe you can be that person. I don't know. Honestly, I have no idea what I'm doing. I've never raised a child, never even thought about it. But I know this, I would die for that girl. I almost did. And if that's not enough, then I don't know what is. The courtroom was silent. Judge Santos studied him for a long moment. Then she turned to Lily. Lily, would you come here, please? Lily stood, walked to the front of the courtroom. Her hands were trembling. You've heard everything that's been said today. I want to hear from you, in your own words. What do you want? Lily looked at Iron, then at the judge. I want to feel safe, she said quietly. I haven't felt safe in a long time. Maybe ever. My daddy tried, but then he got sick. After that, there was nobody. Just people who hurt me and people who watched. And now there's Iron and Diesel and Hawk and Razor. She glanced at the gallery. They didn't have to help me. They could have called the police and let someone else deal with it. But they didn't. They fought for me. They got hurt for me. Nobody's ever done that before. You trust them. Yes. Even though they're strangers, even though their lifestyle is different. Lily's chin lifted. A flash of the fire iron had seen when she'd walked toward the mill alone. My uncle wore nice clothes and had a normal job, and everyone thought he was a good person. He burned me with cigarettes and kicked me until my bones broke. Iron has tattoos and rides a motorcycle, and people are scared of him. He held my hand while I slept and promised nobody would hurt me again. She looked directly at the judge. I don't care what people look like. I care what they do. And Iron did more for me in 3 days than anyone has done my whole life. Judge Santos was quiet for a long moment. Then she smiled, just slightly. Out of the mouths of babes, she murmured. She shuffled some papers. Mr. Hayes, I'm going to do something I've never done in 30 years on the bench. Iron's heart pounded. I'm granting temporary custody of Lily Marie Boone to you effective immediately. This will be subject to regular reviews by CPS home inspections and ongoing evaluation by Dr. Reyes. If at any point concerns arise, this arrangement will be reconsidered. Do you understand? Iron couldn't speak. He nodded. There will be conditions. You'll need to complete parenting classes, submit to background checks, maintain a stable living environment. The court will be watching closely. I understand. Do you accept these terms? Iron looked at Lily. She was crying now, silent tears streaming down her face. Yes, he said, I accept. Then it's done. Judge Santos banged her gavel. Custody is hereby transferred. This hearing is adjourned. Lily ran. She crashed into Iron so hard he stumbled backward. Her arms wrapped around his waist, her face buried in his chest. Thank you, she sobbed. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Iron held her. His own eyes were wet, though he'd never admit it. You're stuck with me now, kiddo. Good. I don't want to be anywhere else. Behind them, Diesel was wiping his eyes. Hawk had turned away, shoulders shaking. Razor was grinning from his wheelchair, giving Iron a thumbs up. Karen Wells approached. Her smile was wide. Congratulations, Dad. The word hit Iron like a lightning bolt. Dad. He was someone's dad now. I have no idea what I'm doing, he said. Welcome to parenthood. Nobody does. They walked out of the courthouse together. All of them. Iron and Lily at the front, the brothers flanking them like an honor guard. The sun was bright. The air was warm. For the first time in days, Iron felt something like peace. Then his phone rang. Unknown number. He almost didn't answer. Yeah, Mr. Hayes, a woman's voice, unfamiliar. This is Agent Sarah Chen, FBI. We need to talk. About what? Travis Boone, he's not talking. Won't give us anything about his network, his contacts, nothing. But he did say one thing. Iron's blood went cold. What? He said to tell you it's not over. He said you took something from him and he's going to take something from you. Even if it takes years. Even if he has to do it from prison. Iron looked at Lily. She was laughing at something Diesel said, oblivious to the conversation. Is that a credible threat? We're taking it seriously. Boone has connections we're still uncovering. People on the outside who owe him favors. I wanted you to be aware. What are you suggesting? Stay vigilant. We'll be monitoring the situation, but you should take precautions. I always do. He hung up. Diesel noticed his expression. What is it? Nothing, just loose ends. Iron. Later, not in front of her. Diesel nodded. He understood. Some things kids didn't need to hear. They drove back to Arizona that afternoon. Not to the garage that would need repairs after Boone's attack. Instead, they went to Diesel's house on the outskirts of town. It was small but sturdy. 3 bedrooms. A backyard. Normal. Lily stood in the doorway, taking it all in. This is where we're staying. For now, Iron said, until I figure out something more permanent. It's nice. She walked inside, slowly touching things. The couch, the kitchen counter, the bookshelf. It smells like home. That's Diesel's cooking. He makes a mean chili. Lily smiled. It was the first real smile Iron had seen from her. Not guarded, not forced, real. Can I have my own room? Already set up, down the hall, second door on the left. She disappeared down the hallway. A moment later, Iron heard her gasp. There's a bed, a real bed with pillows. Diesel appeared beside Iron. Rosa helped pick out the bedding, said every girl needs something purple. When did you have time to do this? While you were filling out paperwork at the courthouse. Hawk made a run to Target. Iron shook his head. You guys, we're family. This is what family does. Lily came running back. She threw her arms around Diesel. Thank you, it's perfect. Diesel's tough exterior crumbled. He hugged her back, gentle as a bear with a cub. You're welcome, sweetheart. That night they had dinner together. All of them around Diesel's kitchen table. Chili cornbread and sweet tea. Lily ate like she hadn't eaten in weeks. Maybe she hadn't. This is so good, she said between bites. My mama never cooked like this. What did she cook? Hawk asked. Lily's face flickered. Mostly nothing. Travis said cooking was a waste of money. We ate a lot of canned stuff, sometimes nothing. The table went quiet. Iron reached over and squeezed her hand. You'll never go hungry again. That's a promise, Michael. You make a lot of promises, and I keep them all. After dinner, Lily helped wash dishes. She insisted even though nobody asked her to. I want to help, she said. I want to be useful. Iron crouched beside her at the sink. Lily, you don't have to earn your place here. You understand you're not useful or useless. You're family. That means you belong no matter what. Her eyes welled up. I've never belonged anywhere. You do now. She threw her arms around his neck. He held her soap suds and all. I love you, she whispered. So quiet he almost missed it. Iron's heart stopped, then started again, beating harder than ever. I love you too, kiddo. The words surprised him. He'd never said them to anyone. Not his parents, not his brothers, not the women who drifted through his life like smoke. But he meant them. God help him, he meant them. Bedtime came too soon and not soon enough. Lily brushed her teeth, changed into pajamas that Rosa had picked out, and climbed into her new bed. She looked tiny against the purple pillows. Iron sat on the edge of the mattress. You okay? Yeah, I think so. She pulled the covers up to her chin. Iron, Shun. Yeah, Shun. What happens now? What do you mean? I mean, fue everything. School, friends. Normal stuff. I've never had normal. Neither have I, but we'll figure it out together. Promise, promise. She smiled sleepily. Will you stay until I fall asleep? As long as you need. He stayed, watched her eyes grow heavy, watched her breathing slow, watched the tension finally drain from her small body. When he was sure she was asleep, he stood, moved toward the door. Iron, he turned. Her eyes were open, barely. Yeah, I'm glad I found you. His throat tightened. Me too, kiddo. Me too. He closed the door gently, walked to the living room where the others were waiting. She asleep, Diesel asked. Finally. Good. Diesel's expression shifted. Now tell us what that phone call was about. Iron sat down heavily, ran a hand through his hair. Boone made a threat, said it's not over, said he's going to take something from me even if it takes years. Hawk cursed. Son of a bitch. FBI's monitoring the situation, but they can't guarantee anything. Razor leaned forward in his wheelchair. What's the play? We stay alert. Watch for anything suspicious. Boone has contacts on the outside people we don't know about. Until the FBI unravels his network, we assume we're not safe. Diesel's jaw tightened. She just started feeling secure. If she finds out, she won't, not yet. She's been through enough. And when she asks why we're always looking over our shoulders, we tell her the truth, eventually, when she's ready. Hawk stood up, walked to the window, looked out at the darkness. We should take shifts, same as before. Someone awake at all times. Agreed. And the clubhouse gets repaired, but we stay here for now, more defensible, easier to watch. Razor spoke up. What about his contacts? The feds say they're still uncovering names. What if one of them comes for her while we're waiting? Then they meet the same fate Boone did. You mean they lose? I mean they never touch her, whatever it takes. The brothers exchanged looks. No words necessary. They'd been through too much together to need them. Whatever it takes, Diesel repeated. Whatever it takes, Hawk echoed. Razor grinned, despite the gravity of the situation. Whatever it takes, but can we at least get better coffee? That FBI stuff was terrible. Despite everything, Iron laughed. Deal. The night stretched on. Iron took first watch, sat in the darkness with a cup of coffee and his thoughts. Somewhere out there, a monster was plotting revenge from a prison cell. Somewhere out there, people he didn't know were waiting for orders. But here in this small house on the edge of town, a little girl was sleeping peacefully for the first time in her life. And Iron would burn the world down before he let anyone take that away from her. He looked at the stars through the window, made one more promise. This one silent, this one to himself. No matter what came next, he would be ready. No matter who tried to hurt her, they would fail. Because Iron Hayes wasn't just a biker anymore. He was a father, and fathers don't lose. 6 months changed everything. Lily grew 3 inches. Her bruises faded to memory. The limp disappeared. She smiled more than she cried, now laughed more than she flinched. Iron watched her transform and felt something he'd never expected to feel. Pride. The clubhouse had been rebuilt, stronger than before. The brothers had added security cameras, reinforced doors, a panic room in the back. They weren't taking chances. But life had settled into something resembling normal. Lily went to school, made friends, came home with stories about teachers and homework and playground drama that Iron pretended to understand. He helped her with math. Diesel handled reading. Hawk taught her to ride a bicycle. Razor, finally out of his wheelchair, showed her card tricks. She was healing, slowly, day by day. But some wounds don't show on the surface. Iron woke at 3 a.m. to the sound of screaming. He was in Lily's room before his eyes fully opened. She was thrashing in her bedsheets, tangled around her legs, tears streaming down her face. "No, please don't." Lily, wake up." Her eyes snapped open, wild, terrified. For a moment, she didn't recognize him. Then she did. Iron. She threw herself into his arms. He was there. He was standing over my bed. He had his cigarettes. He said he was coming back. He said you couldn't stop him. Iron held her tight. It was a dream. Just a dream. It felt so real. "I know, but he's not here. He's locked up. He can't hurt you." Promise, boy." She cried until she had nothing left. Then she just held on her small hands, gripping his shirt like he was the only thing keeping her from drowning. "Why won't the dreams stop?" she whispered. "They will, eventually. Your brain is still processing everything that happened. It takes time." How much time? Iron didn't have an answer. He'd been having his own nightmares for 40 years. "As long as it takes," he said, "and I'll be here for every single one." Lily looked up at him. Her eyes were red, swollen, exhausted. "Iron. Yeah. I'm glad you're my dad." The word hit him like a physical blow. Dad. She'd never called him that before. "Me too, kiddo." His voice was rough. "Me too." She fell asleep in his arms. Iron stayed until morning, watching her breathe, making silent promises to whatever God might be listening. Keep her safe, keep her whole, give her the life she deserves. He'd never been a praying man, but for Lily, he'd try. The call came 2 weeks later. Iron was at the clubhouse helping Razor inventory parts when his phone buzzed. "Agent Sarah Chen. We have a situation." Iron's blood went cold. "What kind?" "One of Boone's contacts made bail yesterday. Man named Victor Hale. He was Boone's enforcer back in Texas. Served 5 years for aggravated assault. And he's disappeared, missed his check-in this morning. We traced his last known location to Arizona." Iron gripped the phone tighter. "He's coming here." "We don't know that for certain." "He's coming here, you know it. I know it. What are you doing about it?" "We've got agents en route. Local PD is on alert." "But Iron." "What? Hale is dangerous, former military, multiple assault charges. If he shows up before our people get there, then I'll handle it." "That's not what Iron hung up. Razor looked at him. "Trouble. Boone sent someone, guy named Victor Hale. He's in Arizona. Coming for Lily." "What else?" Razor's jaw tightened. "What do we do? Same thing we always do. We protect our own." Iron called Diesel, then Hawk. Within an hour, they were all at the clubhouse, weapons ready, faces grim. "She's at school," Diesel said. "Another 2 hours before pickup. I'll get her early. Tell them there's a family emergency." "And if Hale's watching the school?" "Then he sees 4 Hell's Angels and thinks twice." Hawk shook his head. "Or he waits, follows us home, hits when we're not expecting." "Then we stay expecting, round the clock. Nobody drops their guard." Razor spoke up. "We should move her somewhere safe, out of state maybe. Running doesn't solve anything. Hale will follow. Boone will send someone else. We can't run forever." "So what's the alternative?" Iron's eyes were cold. "We end this, permanently." Nobody asked what he meant. They all knew. Iron drove to Lily's school alone. He didn't want to scare her with a convoy of bikers. Not yet. The principal was a middle-aged woman named Mrs. Patterson. She'd been skeptical of iron at first, leather jacket, tattoos, the whole package, but she'd warmed up over time. Lily's grades were improving. Her behavior was exemplary. Whatever this unconventional family was doing, it was working. Mr. Hayes, is everything all right? Family emergency. I need to pick Lily up early. Of course, I'll call her classroom. 5 minutes later, Lily appeared in the office. Her face lit up when she saw Iron, then immediately clouded with worry. What's wrong? Nothing, just a change of plans. You're lying. I can always tell when you're lying. Iron crouched down. We'll talk in the truck. Okay. She studied his face, nodded slowly. They walked to the parking lot. Iron's eyes scanned constantly, checking cars, checking shadows, checking everything. In the truck, Lily buckled her seatbelt and turned to face him. Tell me. There's a man, one of your uncle's friends. He might be coming to Arizona. Lily's face went pale. To hurt me? To try, but he won't succeed. How do you know? Because I won't let him. Lily was quiet for a moment. Then she said something that surprised him. I'm not scared. No. I used to be scared all the time, every minute of every day. But now, Wanta, she looked at her hands. Now I know I'm not alone. Whatever happens, you'll be there. You and Diesel and Hawk and Razor. I'm not scared anymore. Iron felt his chest tighten. That's good, kiddo. That's really good. But Iron, oh, yeah, don't die. Okay, I can't lose anyone else. He reached over and squeezed her hand. I'm not going anywhere. They drove back to the clubhouse. Lily went inside with Diesel while Iron stood watch outside. The afternoon was quiet, too quiet. His phone buzzed. Unknown number. He answered, said nothing. Marcus Hayes. The voice was unfamiliar, deep, cold. I've been looking forward to meeting you. Hale. You know my name. Good, saves time. Whatever Boone's paying you, it's not worth it. This isn't about money. This is about respect. Travis saved my life once. He asked me for a favor. I don't say no to people who saved my life. Then you picked the wrong favor. Maybe, but here's the thing, Hayes. I've been watching you for 3 days now. I know your routines, your patterns, where you sleep, where the girl sleeps. I could have taken her a dozen times already. Iron's blood ran cold. Then why haven't you? Because I wanted to talk first, professional courtesy. We're talking. I could walk away, disappear, tell Travis I couldn't find her, but that would make me a liar, and I don't like being a liar. What do you want? A trade, you for her. Iron's hand tightened on the phone. What? Travis doesn't really want the girl. He wants revenge. He wants to hurt the man who took everything from him. That's you, so here's my offer. You come to me alone. I let the girl live. Simple. And if I say no, then I take her anyway, and I make it hurt. Your choice. Iron closed his eyes, thought of Lily inside, probably helping Diesel with dinner, probably laughing at one of Razor's jokes. Where the old mill, fitting, don't you think, midnight tonight? Alone. If I see anyone else, the deal's off. The line went dead. Iron stood there for a long moment. Then he went inside. The brothers were gathered in the main room. Lily was in the back doing homework. We need to talk, Iron said quietly. He told them everything. The call, the offer, the threat. When he finished, Diesel's face was murderous. You're not going. I have to. Like hell you do. This is a trap. Of course it's a trap. But what choice do I have? He's been watching us for 3 days. 3 days, he knows where she sleeps. If I don't go, he takes her anyway. Hawk spoke up. Then we all go. Hit him before he expects it. He said alone, if he sees anyone else. So we stay hidden, circle around, take him out before he knows we're there. Iron shook his head. Too risky. If something goes wrong, Lily pays the price. Razor leaned forward. You're talking about sacrificing yourself. I'm talking about protecting her, whatever it takes. Isn't that what we agreed? Whatever it takes doesn't mean you die. It means exactly that, if necessary. The room went quiet. Diesel's voice was rough. She needs you, Iron. She's finally starting to heal. You walk into that mill and don't come out, it destroys her. All that progress gone. And if Hale takes her, that's better. Nobody's taking anybody. Diesel slammed his fist on the table. And there has to be another way. I'm open to suggestions. Nobody spoke. Then a small voice from the doorway. I'll go with you. They all turned. Lily stood there, eyes red but dry. She'd heard everything. Absolutely not, Iron said. He wants revenge on you, but he also wants me. If we both go, no. Listen to me. Her voice cracked. He's been watching for 3 days. You didn't know, none of you knew. That means he's good. Really good. If you go alone, he kills you. If you don't go, he takes me. But if we both go together, maybe we can… Lily, stop. I'm not a baby. I'm not some helpless little kid who needs protecting. I walked 5 miles on broken legs. I offered myself as bait to save Razor. I can do this. This isn't the same thing. It's exactly the same thing. Lily walked forward, stood right in front of Iron. You taught me that being brave doesn't mean you're not scared. It means you act anyway. Well, I'm scared. I'm terrified. But I'm not going to hide in the back room while you die for me. That's not who I am anymore. Iron stared at her. This fierce, broken, incredible child who'd become his whole world. You could get killed. So could you. At least this way we face it together. The brothers exchanged glances. Something passed between them. Understanding. Respect. Diesel spoke first. She's right. What? If you both go, Hale thinks he's winning. He lets his guard down. That's when we move. Hawk nodded. We position ourselves around the mill. Hidden. The moment he's distracted, we strike. Razor grinned. It's not a bad plan. Risky as hell, but not bad. Iron looked at Lily. You understand what you're signing up for? Yes. If I tell you to run, you run. No arguments, no looking back. I understand. And if something happens to me, it won't. If it does, Diesel gets you out. You go with him, and you don't stop until you're safe. Lily's chin lifted. Nothing's going to happen, because we're going to win. Iron felt something shift inside him. Fear and pride and love all tangled together. Okay, he said finally. Let's plan this out. Midnight came fast. Iron drove to the mill with Lily beside him. She was quiet, but her hand found his on the gear shift and held tight. You okay? He asked. No, but I'm ready. That's all that matters. They parked outside the mill, the same place where everything had almost ended 6 months ago. Now it would end for real. Iron got out first, scanned the area, saw nothing. Then a figure emerged from the shadows. Victor Hale was exactly what Iron expected. Tall, built like a boxer, face that had seen violence and dealt it out in equal measure. You came, he sounded almost surprised, and you brought her. How touching. I'm here. Let's talk. Nothing to talk about. Hale pulled a gun from his waistband. On your knees. Iron didn't move. That wasn't the deal. The deal changed. I wanted to see if you'd actually show up. You did, which means you're either incredibly brave or incredibly stupid. Probably both. Hale laughed, a cold sound. Travis said you were funny. He also said you'd try something. So here's how this works. You kneel, I put a bullet in your head, and then I take the girl back to her family. She doesn't have family. She has her mother. Travis's lawyer got her out last week, charges reduced. Some kind of deal. Iron's blood froze. Dina's out. Waiting for her daughter right now. Funny how things work out. Lily's hand tightened on Iron's arm. I'm not going back to her. You don't get a choice, sweetheart. I'm not going back. Hale raised the gun. Enough. Kneel. Iron knelt, slowly. His eyes never left Hale. Good. Now the girl comes to me. Lily didn't move. I said come here. No. Hale's patience snapped. He strode forward, grabbing Lily's arm. And that's when Iron moved. He surged upward, tackling Hale at the waist. The gun went off wild, missing everything. They crashed to the ground, rolling, fighting for control. Hale was strong, fast, well-trained. But Iron had something he didn't, something worth dying for. He got on top, slammed his fist into Hale's face. Once, twice. Hale bucked, throwing him off, rambled for the gun. A shot rang out. Hale froze, blood spread across his shoulder. Diesel stepped out of the darkness, rifle raised. Don't move. Hawk appeared from another direction, then Razor, alarmed. Already. Hale's face twisted with rage. You said alone. I lied. Iron stood, walked over to Hale, looked down at the man who'd threatened his daughter. Here's what's going to happen. You're going to tell the FBI everything you know about Boone's network. Every name, every contact, everything. And if I don't, then I let my brothers finish what they started. Hale looked at the four men surrounding him, at the guns, at the cold determination in their eyes. He talked. 2 weeks later, the FBI dismantled what remained of Boone's network. 15 arrests across 3 states. Victor Hale turned witness in exchange for reduced charges. The threat was over, but there was still one more battle to fight. The custody hearing was scheduled for a Tuesday. Judge Santos again, same courtroom where everything had started. But this time it wasn't about temporary placement. This time it was about adoption. Iron wore a suit, first time in 20 years. Diesel had helped him pick it out. It felt wrong, constricting, uncomfortable, but he'd do anything for Lily. She sat beside him wearing a blue dress similar to the one from the first hearing. Her hair was longer now, pulled back in a braid Rosa had taught her to do. Karen Wells sat at her usual table. Dr. Reyes beside her. Both were smiling. Judge Santos entered. Everyone rose. Be seated. She shuffled her papers. We're here today to consider the petition for adoption filed by Marcus Daniel Hayes for Lily Marie Boone. Mrs. Wells, your report. Karen stood. Your Honor, I've been monitoring this placement for 6 months. In that time, I've witnessed remarkable progress. Lily's grades have improved from failing to honor roll. Her behavioral issues have resolved. Her therapist reports significant reduction in trauma symptoms. And the home environment, stable, supportive, unconventional certainly but effective. Mr. Hayes has completed all required parenting courses. He's maintained steady employment. He's created a support network that includes his associates who have also taken courses in child welfare. Judge Santos raised an eyebrow. The Hells Angels took parenting farm classes. All 4 of them, Your Honor. They take Lily's well-being very seriously. Something flickered across the judge's face. Amusement. Respect. Dr. Reyes, your assessment. Dr. Reyes stood. Lily is thriving. When I first met her, she was one of the most traumatized children I'd ever encountered. Today, she's confident, articulate, and emotionally healthy. The credit goes entirely to Mr. Hayes and his family. Any concerns? None. I give my highest recommendation for this adoption. Judge Santos turned to Iron. Mr. Hayes, is there anything you'd like to say? Iron stood. His palms were sweating. Public speaking had never been his strength. Your Honor, 6 months ago, a little girl walked into my garage with 43 burns on her body and a broken pelvis. She asked me not to send her back. That was the moment my life changed. He paused, looked at Lily. I never planned to be a father. Never thought I could be one. My own childhood was difficult. I figured the damage was permanent, that I'd never be capable of the kind of love a child needs. His voice cracked. He kept going. But Lily taught me something. She taught me that family isn't about blood or history or whether you've got your life together. Family is about showing up, about choosing someone and fighting for them every single day. She chose me when she walked through that door. I choose her every day since. He faced the judge directly. I know I'm not the obvious choice. I know my record, my lifestyle, all of it raises questions. But I can tell you this, I love that girl more than I've ever loved anything in my life. I would die for her. I almost did. And if you give me the chance, I will spend every day making sure she knows she's valued, she's safe, and she's loved. That's my promise. That's all I've got. He sat down. The courtroom was silent. Then Lily stood. Your Honor, can I say something? Judge Santos nodded. Go ahead. Lily walked forward. She looked small in front of the bench, but her voice was strong. When I was little, my daddy told me that bikers were family, that they protected people. I didn't really understand what he meant, but now I do. She turned to look at Iron. Iron found me when I was broken, when nobody else cared, when the system failed and my own mother looked the other way. He picked me up and he said nobody would hurt me again, and he kept that promise every single day. Her eyes were wet, but she didn't wipe them. He's not perfect. He's grumpy in the morning. He can't cook anything except eggs. He doesn't understand my homework half the time. But he tries, he always tries, and when I wake up scared in the middle of the night, he's there. Every time. No matter what. She faced the judge. I've never had a real family before. I didn't know what it felt like to belong somewhere, to matter to someone, but now I do because of him, because of all of them. Her voice broke. Please don't take that away. Please let him be my dad. For real. Forever. She stopped, stood there with tears running down her face. Iron was on his feet before he knew it. He pulled her into his arms, held her while she cried. The courtroom remained silent. Then Judge Santos spoke. In 30 years on the bench, I've heard a lot of testimony, arguments from lawyers, pleas from families, but I don't think I've ever heard anything as powerful as what this young lady just said. She looked at Iron. Mr. Hayes, you asked me once to give you a chance. I did, and you exceeded every expectation. You took a traumatized child and gave her something she'd never had: safety, stability, and love. That's not something I see every day. That's not something most people are capable of giving. She picked up her gavel. Based on the evidence presented, the testimony of all parties, and my own observations over the past 6 months, I am granting the petition for adoption. From this day forward, Lily Marie Boone will be known as Lily Marie Hayes. The gavel came down. Iron couldn't breathe, couldn't speak, couldn't do anything except hold his daughter as the reality sank in. Lily looked up at him. Is it real? It's real. Forever, forever. She buried her face in his chest. I love you, Dad. The word hit him differently now. Deeper. Truer. I love you too, sweetheart. More than you'll ever know. Behind them, Diesel was wiping his eyes openly. Hawk had turned away, shoulders shaking. Razor was grinning through his own tears. Karen Wells approached. Congratulations. Iron shook her hand. I couldn't have done this without you. Yes, you could have. I just helped with the paperwork. She looked at Lily. Take care of him, okay? He needs it. Lily laughed. I will. They walked out of the courthouse together. All of them. A family forged in fire, tested by darkness, and made stronger by every battle they'd survived. 3 months later, Iron threw a party at the clubhouse. Not a biker party, a family party. Rosa came, Diesel's daughter, now 17 and twice as fierce as her father. She and Lily had become inseparable sisters in everything but blood. Karen Wells came with her husband and 2 kids. Dr. Reyes brought her mother. Even Judge Santos made an appearance, though she stayed only long enough to wish Lily a happy birthday, because that's what the party was for. Lily turned 10, her first birthday with a real family, her first birthday cake that wasn't store-bought, her first birthday with people who actually wanted to be there. She blew out the candles, surrounded by bikers and social workers and judges and children. The most unlikely gathering Arizona had ever seen. What did you wish for? Rosa asked. Lily smiled. Can't tell you. It won't come true. Come on, just a hint. Lily looked around the room, at Iron talking to Karen, at Diesel manning the grill, at Hawk teaching some kids a card trick, at Razor telling stories that made everyone laugh. I wished for this, she said quietly, for everything to stay exactly like this. Forever. Rosa put an arm around her. I think that's a wish that already came true. Lily nodded. Yeah, I think it did. Later that night, after the guests had gone and the mess was mostly cleaned up, Barn and Lily sat on the clubhouse porch. The stars were bright. The air was warm. The world was quiet. Good birthday, Iron asked. The best ever. Better than the one where you got that bike, Lily laughed. Even better than that. Iron smiled, something he did more often now, something that still felt new even after all these months. Iron. Yeah. Do you remember what you told me that night in the garage when I couldn't stop crying? I told you a lot of things. You said the people who hurt us are the broken ones, not us. You said we're the ones who survive. I remember. Lily was quiet for a moment. I think I finally understand what you meant. Yeah. She looked at him. My uncle was broken. My mom was broken. They hurt me because they couldn't fix themselves. But that wasn't my fault. I didn't make them that way. I just Survive them. Iron's chest tightened. That's exactly right. And now I get to be something else, not just a survivor. I get to be happy, normal, loved. You were always loved. You just didn't know it yet. Lily leaned against him. Her head barely reached his shoulder now, but she was growing. Every day she was growing. Dad, yeah, kiddo, thank you for everything, for finding me, for fighting for me, for not giving up. I should be thanking you. For what? Iron thought about the man he'd been before that day. The anger, the emptiness, the belief that he was beyond redemption. For giving me something worth fighting for making me better than I ever thought I could be, for teaching me that it's never too late to become someone new. Lily smiled. We saved each other. Yeah, I guess we did. They sat in comfortable silence watching the stars wheel overhead. Somewhere out there, Travis Boone was rotting in a federal prison, serving consecutive life sentences for crimes spanning 2 decades. He would die behind bars, alone, forgotten, just like Iron's father. Somewhere out there, Dina Carter was starting over in another state, banned from contacting her daughter, forced to live with what she'd allowed to happen. But here on this porch, none of that mattered. What mattered was this moment, this peace, this family that had been built from broken pieces and held together by something stronger than blood. Love. Iron looked at his daughter, watched her eyes slowly close, watched her breathing deepen as sleep took her. He picked her up carefully, carried her inside, laid her in her bed in her room in her home. Good night, sweetheart, he whispered. She didn't answer. She was already dreaming. Good dreams now, most nights. Iron stood in the doorway, watched her sleep. He thought about the journey that had brought them here. The pain, the fear, the violence, the moments when everything had nearly fallen apart. And he thought about what came next. The school plays and homework battles, the teenage years and all their the graduations and first jobs and maybe someday grandchildren, a whole life stretching out ahead of them. Together. He'd never planned for any of this, never wanted it, never thought he deserved it. But here he was, a father, a protector, a man who'd finally found something worth living for. He closed the door gently, walked to the living room. Diesel was asleep on the couch. Hawk had taken the guest room. Razor was snoring in a recliner. His brothers, his family, his home. Iron sat down in his chair, closed his eyes. For the first time in 47 years, Marcus Iron Hayes fell asleep without nightmares. Because sometimes the story doesn't end with the battle. Sometimes it ends with the silence after. The peace that comes when the fighting is finally done. The moment when a broken man and a broken child and look at each other and realize they've become something new, something whole, something unbreakable. And that's not just a story, that's a miracle. Some people wait their whole lives for a miracle and never find one. Aaron hadn't been waiting at all, but one walked through his garage door anyway, wearing torn clothes and old wounds and a courage that put grown men to shame. She saved him as much as he saved her, maybe more. And if there's anything this story proves, it's this: heroes don't always wear capes or badges. Sometimes they wear leather and ride motorcycles. Sometimes they're covered in tattoos and carry criminal records. Sometimes they're just ordinary people who refuse to look away when a child needs help. That's the kind of hero the world needs more of. The kind who shows up. The kind who stays. The kind who proves over and over again that it's never too late to do the right thing. Iron Hayes did the right thing, and it changed everything. For Lily, for his brothers, for himself, for everyone who ever heard this story and wondered if one person could really make a difference. The answer is yes. One person can change the world. One choice can rewrite a destiny. One act of courage can echo through generations. That's not fantasy. That's not fiction. That's the truth. And the truth is worth fighting for. Always. If this story touched you, share it with someone who needs to hear it. Subscribe if you haven't already. And remember, every child deserves someone willing to fight for them. Be that someone. The world is waiting.